Okay, I'm gonna talk about how to deal with discomfort, I guess, to buy real estate. So my name's Jeff. I'm a millionaire. I own 16 homes, and I teach people how to buy rural rental real estate, which is probably the most affordable real estate um, investing strategy I could think of in America. You can pretty much essentially get started now, even if you had no money. Even though I don't suggest it, I usually tell people maybe have like $50,000 saved up, and then that way you can essentially have some reserves. So yeah, you're gonna have to learn how to do things like raise money, be okay with getting loans. So if you're a Dave Ramsey fan, this might not be free, but just to make it interesting, I'm gonna eat a banana, and I'm not gonna eat it the normal way you expect. I'm gonna take off this part at least, but I'm gonna eat the whole banana because apparently it's supposed to be good. But this is something discomforting, and because you are going through a really boring video, I'm gonna eat it for you and show you I'm suffering with you because the video is boring, but hopefully me eating the banana makes it more interesting. So I washed it, by the way, so hopefully it's good. But yeah, so we're gonna talk first of all. Oh, actually, it's not that bad. Anyways, so the first step to buying real rental real estate is understanding that homes are usually always rented. And normally what we look at when we look at traditional real estate, like if you've ever like gone to a course or done like regular rentals, like long-term rentals, someone stays in there for a whole year. It's a little bitter, by the way. What they do is they'll look at Zillow and do property manager rents, or they'll talk to a property manager and see that, hey, this is how much a home makes. But in short-term rentals or Airbnbs, what you actually look at is something called Rabu.com or AirBNB. And using that data, you can actually find out that short-term rentals make about 3 to 4 times as much as long-term rentals if you compare it to Zillow. So use that Rabu.com deal or AirBNB, and you'll see like, hey, this home in West Virginia, Oak Hill, where I have 3 homes personally, and my company owns a few, and my students and my partners, we all buy properties in this area. They bring in around $70,000 to $120,000. Okay, and it's much better because if you do it as a long-term rental in South Carolina or West Virginia, it'll probably only make like $1,000 every single month. But over here, you can put like 10% down on a vacation home loan in West Virginia, and the rentals will make again $70,000 to $120,000 a year. So if you just divide that by 12, it's almost $10,000 to like $6,000 average. Not exact math. If you want exact math, this ain't the video for you. I mean, there's a dude freaking eating a banana peel. So just move on. Hopefully I never have to make a video like this again, unless it does really well. Then I'm screwed. I guess I'm eating raw bananas the rest of my life, or bananas with peels. Okay, so you'll buy that home. You'll use those calculators to understand that it's gonna make money. But how do you know the market's gonna good and it's gonna stay strong? So I started off in Joshua Tree, California, where my first rentals. Oh man, okay, it's kind of nasty now. I don't know if I'm gonna get through the whole thing, but let's see. I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna try to eat it to right here. But yeah, my homes in Joshua Tree made, I think, like $8,000 to $12,000 every single month when I first started back in 2021. And that's when the light switched off in my head. Like, hey, instead of buying these long-term rentals, I'm gonna buy these short-term rentals just because they do so much better. And for like an extra investment for like furniture and designer, which ends up being like $40,000 on average, like 1,500 to 2,000 square foot home, it'll pump out 4 times the amount of money. So versus me having to go save up another down payment for another house, make only like $200 cash flow from this rental, instead I'll take that extra money and pump it into furniture and turn to a short-term rental where it can actually supplement my lifestyle. And it makes the house look better. It makes it more valuable. So if you decide to cash out refinance later, even though normally furniture and stuff doesn't add value to a home, it still affects the appraiser somehow in helping their perception of the home look nice when they walk through the home. So especially if you add value, it's like even cooler, because you'll do like, there's something called a burst strategy, where you buy, rehab the house, rent it out, and then refinance, and then repeat, and then you do that until you retire. With short-term rentals, you could do it with about 3, especially in these rural locations. You can make a lot more money faster and with less work. That's why Coach Chad Carson is a real estate investor who kind of touts like, hey, just pay off your 3 to 5 homes, and you pretty much can live the life you want. And it's totally true, because again, I've already given you the background about my homes in West Virginia, where each one makes around $7,000 to $12,000 a month, 70 to 120 on average a year. Again, not exact math. Please don't leave in the comments. I'm like, your math sucks. I get those people all the time, like, oh God, just click away, stop watching this video. But yeah, I'm doing my best here. I mean, I'm eating a banana again. Like, this is not the most tasty thing. I'm gonna have a good stool later though, for you doctors. Anyways, yeah, I'm a pharmacist, by the way. Like, I guess I don't work as much in pharmacy, but I work once a month. Made $170,000 my best year, and this makes way more money. And this is why I encourage people to at least get a short-term rental if they're in healthcare, or if they have $50,000 saved and they just want to pivot and make their life a little bit smoother. Anyways, financially, so we're moving on now. So we have the understanding that, hey, you know, these houses are gonna make money. How do you know the home is going to keep on like performing? How are people going to visit? So instead of looking at like job growth, migration, population, crime rate, we'll look at mainly just like visitors per year, because I buy near national parks a lot of times, like Mammoth Caves or New River Gorge National Park. And yeah, you can track on a national park website to see whether it's profitable or not. The biggest issue that people, so you can just, let me go back to my Joshua Tree example. So in Joshua Tree, it gets about 3 million visitors per year. There's over 1,000 rentals plus. Like, if you just go on Airbnb website and look at Joshua Tree National Park, you can see that there's a lot of rentals. And my home there is really not doing so hot anymore. I'm making money, and I've gained a lot in appreciation since I bought 3 years ago. And that's the name of the game in real estate overall. It's like, buy soon now, so you can capitalize on tax write-offs, cash flow, appreciation, and principal paydown, which is basically when you get a loan on a home normally, you pay a portion of the actual like home off, versus like normally when you pay interest to someone, you're just paying interest off. But this time you're actually paying the home off, which is kind of cool. All right, here, another bite. So yeah, it's not doing so hot in Joshua Tree anymore, and that home is not performing as it used to. But now in West Virginia, I took the same strategy I did in Joshua Tree, and I bought that home in West Virginia, those homes in West Virginia, and they cost half the price, $200,000 or less, to $100,000, as low as that. We use vacation home loans, so you only have to put 10% down, 10% down of $200,000 is only $20,000. And your mortgage ends up being around like $1,000 to $2,000 per month, depending on your terms. You have like another like $2,000 to $3,000 in expenses, but because you're making $7,000 to $12,000 a month, it works out. And this depends on your design and product, just a heads up, and like what you underwrite. So it gets much more complicated, and I'm not going to get into that today. I have some other videos discussing it down below about how to design, and if that's interesting, go and click it, but it can be boring for this video. So yeah, we'll do that. We'll buy the home, and it's really hot in here, so if you guys see me sweating, it's not because the banana is nasty. It's because it's like I'm at the beach in Coronado Beach in San Diego, where the homes are like $3 million and plus. But I'm just in my car and making this video for you guys. So discomfort again. Boring video. Hopefully it's getting fun. So you'll buy these homes with these really low mortgages, $1,000 to $2,000. It's very low risk. And you have all those benefits I talked about financially. Then you hire a designer, and then you hire a photographer and cleaner and handyman and contractors, whoever you need to get this place up and running so it is turnkey ready. Try to avoid doing windows if you can. I don't know why everyone wants to replace windows, but they're just a money sink and they don't really add too much value. If your windows are good, clean them up, replace the window panes and call it a day. Sometimes I recommend just paint floor if you can get away with it, as long as everything else is good. Things you want to be worried about, potential huge pitfalls, are like AC, roof, foundation work if you're not familiar with it, electrical, plumbing. Those can be kind of like in the thousands to 10,000s to repair. So I'm not saying don't buy them. Actually, if it's your first one, I'd say just avoid them. Like if I'm giving this advice to the general public, just avoid them. But sometimes, like, I find these homes with these crazy like problems, and they're just smoking hot deals. Like, we once bought a house without plumbing for like $15,000. My mom did, specifically. I don't know if 15. I think it's like 10,000. And she just hooked it up to plumbing, and now it's worth like $200,000, something crazy. Because that's the power of like buying these really affordable homes too. So you buy these homes, fix them up, wait, rent, collect rent. Like throughout the next 30 years, you're probably, if you make 70 to 120, or if you get $100,000, you're on track to gross at least $3 million from this property. Net maybe like $1 million after like you account for all your expenses and all that. But rents generally go up, home values usually go up, especially in 30 years. If other business owners and investors are finding these properties, they're likely going to want to buy it too. I teach people how to manage it on their own. So using your cleaners, your handyman, setting it up in 7 days, like after you have your design done, that's pretty doable. Like again, you can set up a home after everything is like the boxes and everything are there in 7 days, pretty much with you and like maybe one partner or two partners to make it easier. Your body's going to be extremely sore if you do it by yourself, just a heads up. Or even if you do all the work yourself and you're not used to like manual labor. For me, I love doing it, so you won't hire me, that's fine. But I honestly think everyone can do this, and at the end of the day, it's so easy. It's literally going to, imagine yourself going to IKEA or something like that, buying it and setting up, and now because you set up IKEA furniture maybe like 30 times, which is exhausting, now you can rent a place for $7,000 to $10,000. And I think this is a good trick for most people to retire within 2 to 5 years, versus like going out there and buying expensive long-term luxury rental in like, I don't know, San Diego, California, where like, yeah, I can rent out for maybe $100,000, $200,000, but my expenses also are like $70,000 to $150,000 per year. So you have your own issues there too. Like, don't think just because the place is close to you, it's a better investment. And everyone's like, oh, I want to be able to go to my house and fix it just in case. I've never done that like in the past 7 years. Like, again, like when I have an issue at my house, I hire someone out. Like, even on my houses in San Diego where I live in right now, yeah, I fixed some things. And my original plan when I bought it was the same exact reason. It's like, oh, I'm going to be able to fix my house. Now I hire it all the time. Like, I had a gas issue, had a range oven issue. I was like, yeah, I know how to install it, but I'm halfway across the country, like on vacation in Hawaii. What am I going to do about this range that needs to be fixed now? Like, people just don't do that. Like, I don't know why that's a reason for people to not invest in real estate. Oh, halfway, by the way. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys this at least in case you're like worried about automation. But the way you manage these properties is using something called a customer relationship manager. The ones we use are Hospitable, Turno for cleaning. Hospitable is like things that collect messages and send automatic messages to your guests, like login keys. Let me chew down the banana a little bit more then. Yeah, so Hospitable, Turno, Schlage on-code lock, which is Wi-Fi connected. Ring camera for security, so if anyone needs lights or floodlights, it'll flash the light on them, and they'll just feel safer. Especially if you have like travel nurses who are coming home late from work, it makes them feel safer. If someone's been at the national park, and they're coming home late after like beer and dinner, after rock climbing or something like that. You just want some light in the house. That takes care of it. Handyman, just have them on contact. Your cleaners, you can have them onto your Airbnb account too, so they can check messages. The turnout checklist timestamps every time people do photos. So if someone does a photo of like the corner and it shows it's clean, or the hot tub, it's been cleaned, it's timestamped so you know that it's good and ready to go. And it's timestamped so you know that they're not reusing pictures. And that's how you protect yourself. So that's how you automate it. And again, because you did the research and you know that New River Gorge National Park has 2 million visitors per year, and there's like 600 to 700-ish Airbnbs in the area, it's going to do way much better than my Joshua Tree rental. I mean, you could just do the quick math. 700 times 365 is nowhere near 1 million people who visit, or 1 million or 2 million people who visit the national park. And it's even cooler because there's a resort there called Ace River Resort. You can track like how many people they're getting to book their places, and you see that they're charging like $1,500 a night. That's your opportunity to go in there and get some of this good money. Okay, it's getting really nasty. Yeah, so you do that. Oh, it's really nasty. This is a bad bite. Oh, okay. Hold on 1 second. You guys are gonna have to watch me eat this for a second. Yeah, but you don't have to do this at this national park. And then there's gonna be a day where it's no longer good. So when that day comes, you need to stop buying in Oak Hill, West Virginia. So, oh, sweat went in my eye. Now it's sharp. So at the point, like maybe they're like $600,000, $500,000, you might want to consider just investing somewhere else, using the Rabu Data Market Finder tool to find a new market and buy your next 3 in another market. And it could be in Florida, could be in Ohio, could be in Michigan. Just know that you're not limited to whatever I'm telling you. You just need to be able to do the research and trust the process. So when you see like that number on Rabu, you hit 75th percentile, like, oh, if I make a really good rental, the other rentals in the area are really bad, people are going to book my place over the other people's. That's a good bet to take. And I don't guarantee anything ever, but that's a really good bet to take. Versus saying, hey, I take my $50,000 and invest in the stock market. On average, it makes 12% on average annual basis. I like to say now it's like 25% because like it's been on fire lately because the economy's just been printing money. But excuse me, sorry, 50,000 in the stock market, even at 25% on an average annual basis, that's only $12,500. That's pretty good. It's not bad, like for doing nothing at all. But we make that in a month with these short-term rentals. And again, I'm telling you, you only need $50,000 to do this safely if you do it correctly. And you get like the credit cards, like the 0% credit cards. You finance it. I mean, if you think about it, at the end of the day, these credit cards are less risky than 30-year fixed-rate mortgages because if they're not secured by anything. But what I'm saying is like, just know how the system works and be okay with loans, and don't pay high interest loans if you can avoid it. But even at the end of the day, if you have like $20,000 borrowed or like $50,000 borrowed on a credit card, 0% interest, and it's due in 12 months, even at 20%, technically it's, I mean, I'm telling you not to pay 20% on that type of that fee, because that's a lot of money. But you would still technically make it out of there alive if you underwrote those numbers correctly and made it work. I'm not going to get through this banana. Bye, guys.